What's good, YouTube? Target here, and welcome to another episode of City of Garden Scenario. On the last episode, I've mentioned that today was gonna be the day where we beat the scenario. So let's just try and do that. Okay, so one of the things that I want to do before I even zone anything is actually buy our last tile of this city, which will be this one. And there we go. And I want to expand my farms or my forestry industry, and I want to convert all of this into forestry. This is something that I've said I was gonna do, but unfortunately I forgot, or I didn't forget, but I only had time to do it right now. So let's just do that. Let me just pause the simulation. I think I want to take advantage of this avenue that is already in here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get this one. I'm gonna convert all of this into an avenue. So let's just go ahead and do that. There seems to be something in the way. I believe that is the earthquake sensor. Maybe I can put it a bit to the right side. And there we go. There we go as well. And now let's just continue this layout up until over here. This will be a good place for it. For it to end, and now we just need to, oh, before I even forget, let me just rebuild the zoning that I've destroyed. So let me just zone over here, zone over there, and zone over here as well, and the same thing with these places. Perhaps I can even make another house here. There we go, perfect. Okay, and now let's just draw the layout. I think, oh, by the way, I also need to rework on this connection that leads to the cargo station. I don't like these random curves. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do and modify that as well. Alright then, I think this is going to be our final layout for this area. So let's just resume the simulation. And now we can start zoning a few more farms, but before that I need to expand the district. Alright guys, I have zoned this entire thing. I decided to go on a different approach than what we have been doing. So I've decided to place a kind of a central village in the center of the avenue, with some commercial blocks on the main avenue and some surrounding residential blocks that will be populated by citizens, which will work on the farms that you can see on the outskirts of the village. And then I've zoned everything with some farms. And not farms, I keep calling them farms, but it's actually the forestry industry. I've also placed a small clinic and also a fire station or a firehouse. And I think I'm gonna do the same to about these districts. I need to develop a small forestry over here and also perhaps expand this entire thing with forestry industry. But for now, let me just resume the simulation and see all these buildings develop. Okay, while our forestry industry develops, we are going to expand the layout over here of this forestry industry as well, and we are going to create a small block over here as well. So let's just try and do that. I'm not gonna go too overboard over here, so I think I'm just gonna expand the avenue all the way until here, and I will make just a couple more squares, perhaps a big one over here. Okay. And a smaller one in here. Now I can come all the way over here and connect it there. Okay, and let's just create some other small blocks. And perhaps another big square, not big square, but another small one over here. Let's just spin it over here. and perhaps we can even expand this a bit further. Okay, and I think that will be more than enough. Let me just delete this other segment. Maybe I can even expand the layout a bit further. And now let's move on to this area over here as well, shall we? So this is an highway. So I think we can even continue and upgrade this to a highway. Let's just do that before we even forget. Okay, there we go. Now we should just expand it all the way until here, and we can create the layout. So I think I'm gonna come and draw a road that comes all the way over here, another one that comes all the way over there. Alright, and there we go. I've just finished the entire layout of both forestry industries, so now let's just zone everything. Alright guys, our specialized industry is finished. I have made the entire layout. I have provided also a clinic and a fire station to every single one of these small districts, as you can see. So the 3 clinics over here and also 3 fire stations. That should be enough to cover this entire area. I have opted out with this method of having a commercial block in the middle on the busiest part, surrounded by houses, and then the farms themselves. The districts are all zoned with the policy of schools out, so every single residential building will be used to go to the farms and they will be uneducated. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Now I just have to resume the simulation and see this thing develop. I even think I will have to provide a bridge between this district and this one for the trucks to have an easier access to the cargo station, but we can only know that after we let the scene develop. By the way, there is a very big chance that with these 3 new districts we are going to reach our final milestone of 15,000 squares, and therefore we'll beat the scenario. So yeah, let's just keep our eyes open for that. Well, and there we go. Our final milestone is reached, which is actually the most difficult one, of getting all those commercial buildings. And I think we still haven't beat the scenario because we need to get our citizen happiness over 85, so we're almost there. Maybe we can get that on this episode. I've noticed that this is bouncing between 85 and 84, so as soon as we get this activated we will beat the scenario. So I'm not very worried about it, so let's just keep and let our city expand. As you can see, we have a very big forest fire at around this location. Okay, now I believe it's time to place our final electricity and also water facilities. I think the one that we are going to place will be enough to cover the entire city until the final of this series, the final episode. So I'm gonna put another solar power plant. That should be more than enough. And now I'm gonna do the same with water. I even think I'm gonna place the last water pumping station over here. It fits perfectly. Now let's just connect it back. And should I put another sewage treatment plant? Probably not. Maybe that should be okay. We'll wait. Oh, and of course we need to do the same with garbage. So let's just place another one over here, and maybe another one. That should be more than enough for the rest of this scenario. Okay guys, on the last episode we had quite a big issue with our budget. It seems that now that thing is fixed. We have quite a decent amount of income, which is pretty good, but now we have other problems. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Yep, there we go. So the new forestry industry created quite a bit of traffic, and now I'll have to convert these roads into proper connections. That is something that I will have to do somewhere around in the future. Alright guys, given the fact that we have just reached our milestone for commercial buildings, there is something that I would like to try out, which is pretty much remove some of the local produce commercial buildings and replace them for normal commercial buildings. The reason for that is that we have a huge demand for commercial, and no matter how many commercial blocks I place, I still have demand for it. And the reason for that is that the organic and local produce buildings are not that good, not that efficient in providing goods to our citizens, so I need a few more potent commercial blocks to supply our citizens and also to boost tourism. So that's something that I'm gonna try out. I think I can start with this district over here. I think I'm gonna go into the district tool and just make a new district inside this one. So let me just let's see, how do I want to do this? I think I might come at about over here, create a small district. Alright, I've just drawn our new district, and now I just want to remove the commercial specialization. Yeah, that's already taken care of, because this district has no policies or specializations in it. So I'm just going to resume the simulation and let all of these commercial buildings adjust. Alright guys, this commercial area seems to be developing quite nicely. I've also started developing this part of the layout. I decided to go for low density residential because, well, we don't have a lot of demand for residential, and I do not want to increase the population more than what it is right now. Also, something else that I've done is remodel the SIO connections. So now everything seems to be running much more smoothly. I've also touched on this part of the avenue as well. Everything seems to go quite perfectly actually, and it seems that we still have a bit of problems at about this intersection. That's something that again I will have to work on a later stage, but something that I want to do right now is do the exact same thing that I've done over here. So I'm gonna go to districts that are zoned with local and organic produce specialization commercial, and I'm gonna replace them for normal commercial, maybe leisure, and also tourism. For example, this area over here next to the stadium is filled with organic and local produce, and I think this would be an amazing leisure district. And this one, this little segment, would be tourism. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw the districts. I think just a small block over here is gonna be enough. Okay, pretty good. Let's remove this. And now let's just apply the tourism specialization. There we go. And this area over here can be, of course, leisure. So again, let's draw another district. Maybe come over here and draw every single segment along the coastline. Okay, pretty good. And this is also very fitting because it's right next to the harbor. So yeah, let me just come over here and apply some small leisure. Okay, perfect. And it seems that we're starting to have a bit of demand for residential, so I'm going to continue this zoning of this layout all the way until here. And I'm going to enable this park. Okay. Alright guys, I just want to give you an update regarding my situation. So I'm pretty much stuck on the average citizen happiness milestone. I'm at 84 out of 85, and I think this is bugged. So if you see over here, you can see that my happiness for different zoning is at 84 for residential, 76 for commercial, 94 and 93 for office and industrial respectively. One of the things that I could do to raise the happiness was to actually lower the taxes, and that's what I tried to do, but unfortunately it didn't have any effect. So if I just pause the simulation, if you just remember those values, let's go to the tax menu, and as you can see I have everything set to 12%, so I'm just gonna set the residential taxes and also the commercial taxes all the way to 1%. This should be enough to bump up the happiness and get us over 85, right? Well, let's just check it out. So let's also open the goals panel so that we can have an overview. And I'm gonna put the game on 3 speed. And you will see, it should happen in a moment. Yeah, there we go. Our commercial happiness jumped from 76 to 84. And it seems that now our residential and commercial are stuck at these levels, and for whatever reason, I cannot get over 84% happiness. So I don't know what's the deal with this. I'll probably need to do a bit more research on this, but until I get that little 1%, I cannot beat the scenario. So yeah, that kinda bums me a lot. Hopefully I'll be able to fix this. Alright guys, I finally got it. Wow, after 3 hours of playing, I have finally managed to get that happiness bonus. So let's see the message. Well, how about that, the city looks much better now that it has more green in it. Reason, construct, blah 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 blah, all the little things that we had to do to achieve the scenario. And yeah guys, that's pretty much it. We have beat the scenario. So let me just continue playing to show you what I have done to achieve and break that happiness bug. I call it a bug because there's no way I have to do so many things to get that happiness bonus. So I pretty much, first things first, I zone all of this with commercial. Let me just show you. Just to satisfy the commercial demand, I'm gonna dezone it all of a sudden now that we have beat the scenario. So there we go. I've also, for whatever reason, I decided to take out the schools out policy on these districts and place some elementary schools just to see what was the effect. And I also messed around with policies a lot. So let me just show you. I've put the parks and recreation, I've put the free public transport, which I believe was the main reason for us to be able to break the happiness. But I'm gonna disable it again because this spends a lot of money. I also set up this one, let go of leisure. Leisure specialized areas stop generating tax income but get a hefty boost in their entertainment and attractiveness values. So I read the description and thought this would be okay in raising happiness, so I enabled that. I've also enabled encourage biking and filter industrial waste. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's just resume. Let's see if our budget goes back to normal. It should be pretty okay. And yeah guys, that's pretty much it. We have finally beat the scenario. We have accomplished all the milestones and all the goals. Now, as I've mentioned on the past episode, I'm still gonna do an additional episode, which will be episode number 40, where I will be pretty much just decorating a lot of things with trees, and I will also correct some issues that are going around in our city. I will have to fix some dead ends regarding roads, fix some traffic issues, even though we fixed most of them on this episode, and maybe some other things that you guys suggest. And that's why I'm asking you to leave a suggestion. If there's one specific thing or a couple of things that you would like me to build on this map and I haven't had the opportunity to do so yet, please let me know and I will consider it. As I've said, episode number 40 will be the last episode of this series, so this is pretty much the final opportunity for you to make any suggestions. For that reason, episode number 40 will not come on Monday as usual, it will come on Wednesday, so that I have enough time to read all the comments and make all the necessary adjustments. But that's gonna be it for today guys. I wanna thank every single one of you who has stuck around and watched every single episode up until this point, until the beating of the scenario. It was a pleasure for me on doing this series. And yeah, do not miss episode number 40. It will come and it will be the final episode. So I'll see you soon for that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this series, please consider giving it a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to see more City Skylines videos. Don't forget to leave your suggestions for the final episode. And finally, if you want to connect with me on social media, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and as always, have fun!